So like I was saying, we've been going over a lot of stuff for like the last 2 weeks. So today, because we're kind of getting to the end of it, one of the things that you will have at home to do as well as here in school to do is I actually put a link to a Henry and Mudge video to watch. It's the Henry and Mudge story like we have in our book, but there's more to that story. The story that's in our book ends kind of like in the middle, and there's actually more to the Henry and Mudge story, okay? So that's something that we can listen to just for fun because it's a neat little read aloud. What I want to review now, though, is I want to go over ABC order again. There'll be an activity on Seesaw that we can practice that. And most importantly, I want to review subjects and predicates again before we do our take our subjects and predicate part of the test, okay? We have the very last section of the test to do today, the grammar section. It'll be talking about subjects and predicates. So we're going to go over ABC order. We're going to go over subjects and predicates. Then I'll send you on your merry way. You can watch the Henry and Mudge video, take the subjects and predicates test, and work on the ABC order activity, okay? So just to help us review ABC order a little bit, I have a quick little video about ABC order. Let me zoom it back a little bit. It started when I first clicked on it.
Alphabetical order. Words are arranged in alphabetical order according to the first letter. For example, apple, butterfly, donut, fish.
Okay, so if we see all of these words in particular, apple, butterfly, donut, and fish, we are putting them in order according to their first letter. A, B, D, and F. Do we see every letter of the alphabet right there? No. Sometimes we skip some of the letters, remember, okay?
When more than one word begins with the same letter or letters, list the words according to their second or third letter, and so on.
So if we look at all these words in the top row, they all begin with the letter A. Actor, alligator, anthill, and apple. So for these words, since they all start with A, we have to look at the second letter, the C or the L or the N or the P, to be able to put them in the correct alphabetical order. On the bottom row, all those words start with the same first letter, C, and the same second letter, L. So to put claw and clean and clown and club in the correct alphabetical order, we had to look at the third letter, the A, the E, the O, and the U, to be able to put them in the correct place.
For example, actor, alligator, anthill, apple, claw, clean, clown, club, canal.
Now we're looking at the fourth
Key.
letter.
Canister, canopy. Looking up words in a dictionary is easy if you know how to arrange words alphabetically.
Okay, so, and that's one of the whole reasons why we learned alphabetical or ABC order anyways, is because you eventually, at some point in your life, will probably have to look up words in a dictionary. I know that's something we actually practice here in second grade. We use the glossary in the back of our book. And if we can remember where the words are in ABC order, it makes it a lot easier to find them instead of having to look through all of the pages of the A words, or all of the pages of the G words, or all of the pages of the W words. Okay? All right. So I'm going to close that out. There will be an activity that you can practice in Seesaw. We'll go to that in a little bit. But before we do that, let me close this out. I'm going to open up our Active Inspire for our subjects and predicates. I'm sorry. Nope. to put these in ABC order first, and then we'll do some subjects and predicates. So, practicing here are words in ABC order. I have robot, drip, will, from, may, what, draw, and runs. Okay, so this will only take, I'm sure, a minute or two because we're really used to putting words. We're used to putting words into alphabetical order now. Who can tell me which one of those words is going to come first? Robot, drip, will, from, may, what, draw, or runs. Which one do you think is going to come first in our row of alphabetical order words? Valerie, you want to make a guess?
Yes.
Draw? Yes, draw would be the first word. I don't have any words that start with the letter A. Oh, that's a weird looking line that went across my word there. I don't have any words that start with the letter B. I don't have any words that start with the letter C, so I first have to look at the words that start with the letter D. Now, Valerie stopped for a second, and I know because she was looking at both words, right? You were looking at draw, and what was the other word you were looking at, Valerie?
Drip.
Drip. She saw both of these words had a D. Woo! I don't know what's going on with the crazy lines here, friends. I hope that's not a sign of what's to come for the rest of the day. All right, let me erase this one real quick. Some crazy, crazy lines are going on our screen. Okay, so she saw that both of the words start with a D. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the pen. Now we have another crazy line. Then both of the words have an R. So she had to look at the A in draw and the I in drip to decide that draw comes before drip. Okay? So our second word would be drip. I don't know what's going on with those crazy letters on our screen. There's some lines that are coming out of nowhere. Maybe the pen needs a nap or something. That's some craziness going on right there. Okay, I'm going to change colors, see if that makes a difference. Okay, so now I have robot, will, from, may, what, and runs. What do you think is going to come next in our list of alphabetical words? Jake, what do you think, buddy? From, very good. F-R-O-M spells from. Okay, the color change didn't make a difference. It's still making some crazy lines, but we'll work with it. No worries, no worries. All right, now I have robot, will, may, what, and runs. What's going to come next? Robot, will, may, what, and runs. Zayden, what do you think? Do you want me to come back to you? Okay, I'll come back to you. I'm going to pick a stick. Who thinks they know what's going to come next? Let's see if this person can tell me what's going to come next. James, what's going to come next in our words? Robot, will, may, what, or runs? May, very good. The word may comes next. M-A-Y. Another crazy line. Okay. Now I have robot, will, what, and runs. What's going to come next? Janessa, what do you think? Are you raising your hand or are you just holding your hand up? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Gwen, do you know what comes next after may? We have robot, will, what, or runs.
Robot.
Robot? Are you asking me robot or are you telling me robot?
I'm telling you robot.
You're telling me robot. That works. Robot would come next. After robot, Caden, comes what? I don't know. Where are those crazy lines are coming from?
After robot.
We have will, what, or runs.
Will.
Not quite. We have will, what, or runs. What comes after robot? Look at all of your words that are left. Will, what, or runs.
What?
Try again, Caden.
Run.
Runs. Kaden, you should look at the first letter of all the words before you make a random guess. Runs would be the next word. So now I have will and what. Which one of those words is going to come first? Logan, will or what?
Will.
I comes before H.
I mean, the other one.
What is the other one?
When.
What. What. What comes next? And then will is last. Okay, I don't know what's going on with these crazy letters. Okay. All right, so like I said, there will be an activity in Seesaw that you can practice for that. Now, I'm going to close this out. Let's see if that makes a difference if I close this out. I'm going to go to the other screen that I have that will go along with our subjects and predicates here. Let me close this one. Boop. No, I don't want to save you. Okay. This is the part that I want to review a little bit before you take the subjects and predicates part of the test. All right, so let's remember, what does the subject tell us in the story? Or, I mean, in a sentence. The subject, oh, we still have crazy lines. You know what? I can fix it this way. Let me erase it like this. Okay. I will just use my finger to write it. I think that will work. The subject, because the pen is acting all wonky. Okay. What does the subject tell us in a sentence, Jamie? Who, right. The subject tells us who. W-H-O. Nice and big. Okay. And the predicate, let me change my colors here. I'll put it right here. The predicate tells us, let me put it in my finger writing here. If the subject tells us who, then the predicate tells us what, Derek? Yeah, you. If the subject tells us who, then the predicate tells us what? Ah, then have a seat, put your iPad in the back of your chair, and let's pay attention because you're going to take a test on this in just a minute or two. Levi, what does the predicate tell us?
The predicate tells us who's doing it.
Nope, the subject tells us who, so the predicate tells us
What
is happening, right? What is happening in the sentence? Okay, I'll just put what. All right, so now I'll use my highlighter. That'll make it easier. The giant ant tried to carry the whole peanut. What is the subject in that sentence? The giant ant tried to carry the whole peanut. Zayden, what's the subject?
The giant ant.
The giant ant. I'm going to just draw a line underneath it. That's not a very big line here. Let me see if I can make it this way. The giant ant is the subject. That's nice and big. All right. What is my predicate of that sentence? The giant ant tried to carry the whole peanut. My predicate, Angelina, is what?
Tried to carry the whole.
Right. I'm Derek. Put your feet in front of you and face this direction. Everything you need is in front of you, not behind you. Turn your whole body around so you're sitting in front of your desk. Fantastic. Your eyes should stay up here the whole time. Tried to carry the whole peanut is the predicate. Woo, that's a nice big fat line. Okay, now, looking at the next sentence. The next sentence says, she jumped up and down on the trampoline. What's the subject in that sentence? She jumped up and down on the trampoline. Alina, what's the subject?
She jumped.
Close. Remember, subject just tells us who. So who are we talking about, Alina, in that sentence? She. Very good. Just that word she. Now, what is the predicate in that sentence? She jumped up and down on the trampoline. Derek, what's the predicate in the sentence? She jumped up and down on the trampoline. She is our subject. What's the predicate? What did she do? Okay, Derek, the sentence says she jumped up and down on the trampoline. What did she do? She jumped up and down on the trampoline. What did she do? What am I telling you that she's doing? She jumped up and down on the trampoline. Jumped up and down on the trampoline is the whole predicate. All of those words, I'm kind of highlighting it in the middle there. All of those words make up the predicate, okay? All right, everyone clapped and cheered as the hero saved the day. This one is tricky. Who are we talking about in this sentence? Remember, the subject is usually at the very beginning. So, Logan, who are we talking about in the sentence, everyone clapped and cheered as the hero saved the day?
We're talking about the hero.
We're not talking about the hero. That is not the subject of the sentence. The subject of the sentence typically comes at the very beginning. Everyone clapped and cheered as the hero saved the day. So who is the subject in that sentence, Logan? Everyone is the subject. Oh, now I have a regular pencil. Okay. And everyone clapped and cheered as the hero saved the day. What's the predicate or the action, Valerie, in that sentence?
Clapped and cheered as the hero saved the day.
Right, all of that. Clap. Oops, it should be red. Let me change my color here. There we go. Clapped and cheered as the hero saved the day is the whole predicate. Very good. All right, last but not least, the very last sentence. The very last sentence says, Ricky the raccoon was visiting his friend Mikey the monkey. So, Kaden, tell me, what's the subject in that sentence?
Ricky is visiting.
What's the subject in that sentence? Ricky the raccoon was visiting his friend Mikey the monkey. What's the subject? Ricky the raccoon is the subject in that sentence. And the predicate in that sentence is what, Jamie?
Was visiting his friend Mikey the monkey.
Right, very good. All of those words. Was visiting his friend Mikey the monkey. Okay, fantastic. So, in your seesaw today, as you're part of the weekly test, when I didn't tell you to get out your iPad just yet, those of you who are reaching for it, this is a listening time. In your seesaw today, you will have the grammar part of the section, the grammar part of the test that talks about just the subjects and the predicates. So let me show you what it's going to look like. I'll close this out here. No, I don't want to save it. And I'll bring up your seesaw. Remember, all of these tests have all of the questions and answer choices read to you. So it benefits you to take the time to listen to them so that you can hear what it is that the words are saying. So you will tap on your add response part. Hi, I'm Sample. You can listen to the directions up here because I always give you directions. I always give you directions here. And remember, you can always tap down on the bottom where you see the blue circle around the caption, and it will read to you what the words are that are on each page. So I would suggest that you take the time to tap that blue caption down on the bottom and listen to each page because the directions change halfway through this part of the test. So if you're not listening to what the directions are going to ask you to do, then half of the questions will be wrong, okay? So that's why I'm asking you to take the time to actually listen to the directions that I've recorded on each one of the pages so that you can follow the directions and not have to take the test over. If you don't do well on it, I will send it back to you to do it again because I want to give you an opportunity to actually do well on it and get a good grade on it, okay? Question, Angelina.
Wait, yesterday I got
All right, hold on just a second, Angelina's phone is ringing. Hello? Oh. I will send him right down. Yep, bye. Okay, Derek, Mrs. Lehigh is waiting for you. Take your iPad. Okay, yes, Angelina.
yesterday when I did the test, I got one
Walking,
wrong.
Derek. Yesterday when you did the test, what?
I got one wrong.
Yep, that happens. Sometimes we get one or two wrong. 1 or 2 or 3, not a big deal. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wrong, that's a big deal.
10.
Sometimes we make a mistake or two, it's not a big deal. But if you get a lot of mistakes, then I'll send it back to you to do it again. All right. So we'll have this part to do in Seesaw. There's also an ABC order to do in Seesaw. And there also is the video of Henry and Mudge to watch because it's a longer story than what we have in our book. Any questions before we get started? Any questions from friends at home before I send you on your merry way until math? Okay, friends at home, you go ahead and go back into Seesaw and get the test done and the ABC order done, and you can watch the read aloud and then work on some reading eggs, and I'll see you at 11:30 for math. Actually, no, wait a minute. I won't see you at 11:30 for math because today for math you're taking a test. And so you don't need to zoom in for that. You can just take the math test. So when you're done with your language arts, if you want to just take the math test, you can do that. And I will see you later at closing circle. All right, toodly doodles, friends at home. Have a good rest of your afternoon, morning. All right, so do you have a question?